Away from addition and subtraction of algebraic expressions, today we are going to look at multiplication and division. Okay, so now we have a question which came in 2018 paper 2 GCE. Simplify 7st to the power 3 over 15u to the power 3 v squared times 5u to the power 3 v over 28s to the power 3 t squared. So let's see how we are going to simplify this algebraic fraction. So this time around we are multiplying. So it's different from the algebraic fractions that we have so far looked at. So let me just write 7s, okay, t to the power 3 over 15u to the power 3 v to the power 2. We are multiplying 5u to the power 3 v there over 28s to the power 3 t to the power 2. Okay, so now to simplify these algebraic fractions, I would advise that to avoid making mistakes, you start with the numbers, or rather the coefficients for these terms. So I know that I have 7 there. I can start with the numbers. 7 into 7, 1. 7 can go into 28. We are now simplifying. Okay, because 7 can't go into 15 without leaving any remainder. So I'm looking for the number that I can divide 7 with. So 7 into 7, 1. 7 into 28. It will just be what? It will just be 7 goes into 28 how many times? Okay, 4 times. So this is paper 2. You can even use a calculator. Okay, so let me just write that. So 7 into, maybe I use a different, okay, 7 into 7, there it's 1. So 7 into 28, it goes there how many times? 4 times. Okay, then we go to this one, 5. So we have 5 here. So now we see that we have 15 for the other fraction, and we know that 5 can go into 5 how many times? Okay, of course 1, and 5 into 15, it goes there how many times? 3. Okay, so with the numbers we are done. We do not have any number that we have left out which can be divided. Okay, so we have 1 there, we have 3, we have 1 there, we have 4. So that's all in terms of the numbers. Now I want us to write down what we have. So I will not write 1st to the power 3. 1 usually is nothing. So 1 times st3, it will just be st3. Don't mind my s, it looks like a 5, but it's a s. Okay, so st to the power 3 over u to the power 3 v squared. Okay, times, so there we're going to have u to the power 3 v over, okay, so we have another s there, so it will be s to the power 3, then t to the power 2. All right, so in terms of the numbers, we have to now look at the numbers. So remember we had 3 there, so this one it will just be 3. There we had 4, so it will just be 4 there. Okay, so we have 4s to the power 3 t squared, then there we have 3u to the power 3 v squared. So these are the numbers that we have been left with after dividing. Okay, so now allow me to continue this from here, from this space here. So now we can start dividing the letters, the variables. So I'll start with the okay, let me just write the whole question from here, then we cancel from here. So st to the power 3 over 3 u to the power 3, then v to the power 2, times u to the power 3 v over 4 s to the power 3, then t to the power 2. Okay, so let me get a different pen. Okay, so I'll start with the s. So we can cancel this s. There's one s there, so this one s, it goes. You remain. So this s, it will cancel with this s to the power 3. There are 3. So now if we cancel 1, it means that here we are only going to remain with the s to the power 2, because 1 has cancelled with this one. Have you seen how I'm doing it? To avoid making mistakes, you have to know carefully after dividing what has remained. Okay. All right. So now that we have cancelled that, so let's go to the other term that we can divide. Okay. So we have t. So we have t to the power 3 and have t to the power 2. So this t to the power 2 can go into t to the power 3, and we are going to remain with only one t there. Okay, because there are 3. When we cancel 2, it means we only remain with one t there. Okay, so this t to the power 2 goes. Okay, then this one, it means that here I only remain with t only. Is that okay? Yeah, then we now look for the other term that we can divide. So we have u there, we have u. So at this stage, I want us to get another one. Okay, so I want us to pick which color now? This one. Okay, so we are now going to look at u. So we have u to the power 3 and u to the power 3 down here. So the whole u is going to cancel with the whole of this u. Okay, so it just be 1 there, 1 there. So u has gone, as you can see. Now we are remaining with v. So now there we are remaining with what? With v. So we have v there. So it means that since we have v squared and there's v there, so v to just be 1. And then because there are 2 there, when we cancel 1, we are now going to remain with 1v. So it will just be v just. Okay. So now let's write down what we have remained with. So let me start with this one here. So with this numerator, we only have t. So we're going to write t over, remember we have 3 there, so it will be 3 and also v. So 3v. Okay. Then for the other fraction, on the numerator there, we only have 1. Okay. And then the denominator, we have 4. And then we also have what? S to the power 2. S to the power 2 like this. Okay. And then when we multiply this, it will be t times 1. It will just give us t. Okay. Over 3 times 4, it will just give us 12. Then it will just be v and then s to the power 2. So this becomes our answer. As you can see, we cannot simplify this one further. We do not have any common factors that we can divide with. So this forms our answer. So the answer is just t over 12v s squared. Okay, so now I want us to dive in. We also look at another question under multiplication and division. Here we were multiplying. What if you are dividing fractions? What are you supposed to do? So let's look at that question. So this is the question which came in 2017, paper 2, grade 12, internal. This time around we are dividing and not multiplying. So let's see how we are going to divide. So the question is we have 14 there, x to the power 3 over 9 y squared divided by you have 7 x to the power 4 over 18, that's y to the power 3. Okay, so now you have to recall that each time when you're dividing fractions, this fraction on your right, it has to reciprocate. What I mean is that what was the numerator becomes the denominator, or they just simply swap. So this fraction, it will go down as the denominator, and this fraction, and this, 18y squared, 18y to the power 3, it will go up as the numerator. They will just simply swap. The numerator becomes the denominator, and the denominator becomes the numerator. So let's see what we are going to have when these two swap. So we have 14x to the power 3 over 9y squared. But then when we take the reciprocal of this one, the sign also changes. Okay, the sign changes, the fraction also changes. Okay, so instead of writing 7x to the power 4, I'll now write this. Okay, 18y to the power 3. Okay, now what was the numerator now becomes the denominator. I'll write 7x to the power 4. All right, wonderful. So now that we have this, remember from the previous example, we looked at how we can perhaps simplify when you're multiplying. And I said that you can start with the numbers. So even with this one, we are going to start with the numbers so that we do not make mistakes. Okay, so let me just write down this question here so that we can start dividing. So we'll start with the numbers, then the letters last. We don't want to mess up our work, and it becomes very easy when you are doing it separate. And like when you are dividing numbers, you're also dividing letters at the same time. You may end up making a mistake, but if you are doing it separate, you see that you have a very clear picture and your work will be very clear. So in this case, I want us to start with the numbers. So we're going to look at 14. I have 14 there, I have 7. I know 7 can go into 7 how many times? 1. 7 into 14, it goes there how many times? 2 times. Okay, so we now look at 18 and 9. So 9 can go into 18 and 9 can go into 9. So 9 into 9, 1. 9 into 18, it goes there how many times? 2 times. So you can see we are done with the numbers. Okay, so if we're done with the numbers, I'll just write down what we have. So there we have what? I have 2x to the power 3 over y to the power 2 times, there, don't forget, we have 2 there, so it will be 2y to the power 3 over x to the power 4, over x to the power 4. All right. So from what we have now, we are now going to look at the letters. So we're going to now try to divide the letters. So I'll start with the letter x, the variable x. So this is x to the power 3, and I also have x to the power 4. So I have 3 x's there, which are going to cancel with the 3 x's for x to the power 4. So since this is x to the power 4, when we cancel this x to the power 3 and x to the power 4, we are only going to remain with the 1x. Since there are 4, if we cancel 3 from the 4 x's, we are going to remain with the 1x. I hope that one is clear. So this one goes means 1. So x into x to the power 3 into x to the power 4, it means that we are only going to remain with the x there. Okay, because there are 4 of them. Is that okay? Then away from x, now we look at y. Okay, let me change the color. Okay, we go to red. Okay, so this is y squared, and I have y to the power 3. So it means that this y squared can go into y to the power 3. So we are going to cancel 2 y's
from the 3 y's that we have here, and we are going to mean with it only y, okay, because there are 3 of them and we want to cancel the 2 y's. Okay, so this y squared out, okay, it will be 1, then this, it will just give us y, okay, because you are cancelling the 2 y's from the 3 y's. So if you cancel 2 y's from the 3 y's, you're going to mean with only y. Okay, so now that we are done with the letters as well, we just write down what we have. So I will write 2 there. Okay, of course, down there we only have 1 times, then there I have 2, then there's also y, don't forget, then down there I have x. Okay, all right, so now writing our final answer, we can just multiply these two. 2 times 2y, this will give us what? 4y over x. Okay, so this is our answer. Okay.